I started to hone my skills as a designer. I had gotten back closer to Detroit, after my parents moved us away, now I'm grown, I can kind of do what I want. Moved all around the Midwest though. Like I lived in Ohio for a minute when Cam was out there doing his thing. So I would see him a lot. I lived then I moved to Chicago. I'm not groomed into Grand Rapids like that. I'm not groomed into Chicago like that. I'm not groomed into Dayton, Ohio like that. Like all of these places I'd gone created an identity for me, but no one could really figure out who is this dude? Where is he from? Like, I'm from everywhere. And this is around the time when Kanye and GOC were really starting to really make an impact on the mixtape lane. You know what I mean? So you hear all these Kanye freestyles and be like, man, this guy's in Chicago? That's what's up. You know what I mean? Then we would hear some more stuff, and then we would start seeing him getting single placements. He got a H to the Izzo. And it's like, man, this is that same guy from Chicago that we were listening to those mixtapes from. You know what I mean? So it kind of lent the opportunity for us to feel like, us as in me and my two business partners at the time, like, hey, we could do this if we got to Chicago, because that's the most major city in the market. If we got to Chicago, I'm pretty sure we could get to Kanye, we could get on. You know what I mean? He would understand what we're trying to do. I only moved to Chicago because I wasn't ready to go to New York or LA. You know what I mean? Kanye provided some opportunity to see that there is a place that you can hone your skills before you go to New York or LA. But don't go to New York or LA until you're ready, because you're gonna have to come back to Chicago. We didn't make a t-shirt till Zoe was like, you need to make a t-shirt. You know what I mean? But that was like year 5 or 6, where Fashion Geek Zoe was in my store on Grand and was like, man, take this logo and print up some shirts. Before that, we wouldn't make a t-shirt ever. And it was because of Zoe. Zoe was the t-shirt dude. He made all the t-shirts. I didn't want to go compete with him because I knew I couldn't win. Everybody's competing with Zoe. And we're all competing with Zoe in Chicago, man. Like every single last one of us are trying to figure out how to dethrone that position of being the known designer in Chicago. And the only one that kind of helped or was willing to help was Corey from Leaders. Corey from Leaders allowed for us to shoot a commercial in the spot. And it came out really well. It kind of showed like a day in the life of Soul Search. You know what I mean? It was my first opportunity to like really push the app. Like we had the news come by the store. He allowed us to do photo shoots in the spot, man. And like Corey really was instrumental in showing, a black person help me, because that hadn't happened before. When I first got settled into Chicago, man, I didn't know that it was like, oh, this is the city of haters. It's the city of hella haters. Like Kanye hadn't said that yet. So my only real picture of Chicago was like Common Sense albums. I say Common Sense because I was listening since it was Common Sense. You know what I mean? Resurrection, Can I Borrow a Dollar? That was my first introduction into Chicago. Not only were we kind of met with, what's up, Michigan dude? Because we know you're not from here. What high school did you go to? And it's just like, I didn't go to high school here. It's like, well, who are you? You know what I mean? It just took so long to have to tell the story as to how I'd arrived that they weren't even interested in what I was doing by the time we were in that conversation. When Fabulous comes in town, Fabulous came to Pilsen and was like, yo, where is that? We're coming to shop. When Persevere's in Pilsen, Ashanti comes by. When Persevere's in Pilsen, Emery comes by. Like, Pilsen ain't that's not Michigan Ave. You know what I mean? Like, they would come to where we were at. It's no different than how Dapper Dan had Harlem popping. It's just, it was Chicago and I wasn't from there, so it couldn't get hoisted up like that. 2015, we moved from Chicago. I just had to go. We had some very negative, somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt, and I didn't want it to be me, and I didn't want it to involve me. But there were some people who took it upon themselves to say some really, really, really mean things and like spread some rumors about me that did put me in some situations where I had to make calls and get out of situations that I shouldn't have had to use my emergency calls for. And I don't think that they thought twice about it. You know what I mean? Like it was a tough time. So I had to go.